Hi guys, if you're new to my channel, my name is juliasurface and I'm a rising junior at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. And today's video, by the title, is I'm gonna be talking about my sorority recruitment experience. So before I get into the video, just really quick, I want to go on ahead and just give like a little live update. So I wanted to go on ahead and upload this video because I felt like it was important for me to go on ahead and share my experience and just kind of get that out there. But I am actually going to be working at a all-girls Christian summer camp called Camp Skyline Ranch in Minton, Alabama, and I was actually a camper there, and I'm going to be a videographer for the month of June. So with that being said, I am really going to be prioritizing making content and editing content for them. And so I'm not really sure exactly like what my schedule is going to look like with my personal channel and what I'm going to be able to film and what I'm not going to be able to film, etc. So I just kind of want to go ahead and put that out there. If you guys don't see any videos from me, I'm just really busy with camp stuff, and I will be, making more content as soon as I possibly can, and I'll be answering any comments or direct messages as soon as I possibly can. It's definitely a priority to me to make sure that I am answering people as quickly as possible and creating content as quickly as possible. However, I just hope you guys can just understand and hang on for the month of June. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing with that, and I leave for orientation in 2 days, so that'll probably help me get a better idea of what kind of scheduling I'll be working with for June. But yeah, just want to go ahead and put that out there. I am repping my Alpha Delta Pi shirt today in honor of this being my first sorority recruitment type video, and I am really excited to be able to share my story. This is something that I have been wanting to share with my viewers for a really long time, and I'm really excited that I finally get the opportunity to share my story. And I also just want to put a disclaimer in here that everything in this video is going to be very positive, because literally I am so happy that I decided to be involved in Greek life and that I'm an Alpha Delta Pi, because the Panhellenic community is just so incredibly amazing. And so I just wanted to go ahead and say that there will not be any negativity in this video at all. It's going to be solely positivity. But I'm also going to be very realistic and very real with you guys about my experience, because it's definitely not a typical, sorority experience that most people have. And I just hope this video educates people and also allows girls that maybe are having a similar experience that I was in last year, they know that they're not alone, because last year I felt very alone. And so I just really hope this video is helpful and just brings light and positivity into every potential new member. It's really my goal. I guess I should start with why I even knew about Greek life, or how I was even exposed to that. So my mom was in a sorority at UT and my dad was in a fraternity at UT, and they met at a fraternity and sorority mixer, which a mixer is like when a fraternity and sorority have like a party together. And so basically my entire existence is because of Greek life. So I have been exposed to Greek life practically my entire life. And my mom was also really close to some of her sorority sisters in Nashville. That's where I used to live. And so I've kind of just been exposed to that entire environment and Greek life community ever since I was a little girl. So I always knew that I really was interested in going Greek and being in a sorority, even though I never really saw myself as like a stereotypical sorority girl. But I do like to be social, and I thought it would be a really great way for me to meet friends and be involved in community service. So pretty much, I believe like before I graduated high school, I created my recommendation letter resume, and I was already starting to get recommendation letters for you know, the 13 sororities at UT, and I actually for my freshman year got all 13, which, you know, was a lot of work and effort, and it was just a very stressful process. I just remember my mom and we were going to like our local boutiques and stuff, just looking for cute outfits for me to wear. And you guys have to remember, when I was going through recruitment as a freshman, this was the fall semester of 2019, so this was pre-COVID, so, you know, everything was in person, and so it really did matter more of like, you know, having a full complete outfit, because you're gonna actually be physically walking in the houses and making sure like you're not hot and etc. And I just remember it was very stressful, but I felt very confident in myself just because I had a really great resume, I had a really good GPA, I was involved in a lot of clubs, I did a lot of after school activities, I did community service in high school, and I feel like I was pretty approachable and easy to talk to. So I felt very confident in myself, and going through the recruitment process, I really did not think I was going to have a ton of problems. I moved into my dorm early with the rest of all the other girls going through recruitment, and I definitely am someone, I really like routine, and pretty much from the beginning I felt very, very overwhelmed, and I just did not understand or know what I was doing at all. I just felt really nervous. I was excited, but just really nervous, and I felt like I had no idea what was going on. Basically, I went to orientation the night I moved in, and then the next morning it was Go Greek round, and it was time to go. It was go time. And Go Greek at UT, when it was pre-COVID in person, you went to all 13 houses, and it was a very, very long, taxing day because it was so hot outside, and you're having the same conversations with 13 different girls over and over and over again. It was just a lot. I just remember feeling like I had really, really great conversations, everything went really well, and the next morning I woke up to get my schedule for Philanthropy, and I got cut from a couple houses, but they weren't houses I necessarily really saw myself in, and I got back houses that I really did like, and I was so excited because I got all 10 back, and that was the maximum you could get, and I was just like, wow, that's awesome, like this is going great. And so I did Philanthropy, and once again I, you know, felt like conversations were really going well and everything, and I was starting to, you know, have more favorites over others, which is completely normal to do, and I felt really, really good after Philanthropy. And so I went to bed and I woke up to look at my schedule for sisterhood round, and I got dropped from practically all my favorite houses except for one. I had one of my favorite houses, and then the rest of the houses I liked them. I just was not completely in love with them or feeling completely confident being in their house. And so I just remember being really sad and bummed a little bit by that, but I was really hopeful and optimistic, and I just remember watching a lot of girls on YouTube just saying, you need to trust the process, like you'll end up where you should be, you know, just trust the process, trust your gut. And I was just like, you know what, Julia, yeah, these houses were not your favorites, but I mean, literally my mind can change at any time. I obviously am going to give them a chance, and I'm going to go and make the absolute best out of what I was given, because there are girls right now who have been dropped from recruitment and do not have any houses, and I'm going to go to these houses and I'm going to make the absolute most out of this experience. Went to the houses. I of course loved my favorite house, and I liked the other ones. I just was not absolutely falling in love with them. And so I went and voted, and obviously I preffed my favorite house, and then I preffed the other house that I could see myself in. And I woke up the next day and I got my schedule for preference round, and my favorite house dropped me, and I was just really, really upset. It's just not a good feeling knowing that, you know, houses dropped you and you just don't understand what you did wrong or what you could have done better. Once again, I was absolutely determined to make the most out of the situation because I'm not someone that gives up or wants to quit, and I truly do believe in, you know, making the most of your situation. So I went to those houses, and I actually talked to a girl that I talked to previously at one of the houses, and I loved her, and I still to this day love her, and we just really clicked. And I was like, you know, maybe this house really will work out for me. Maybe this is really where I want to be. And I liked the other house I went to as well. I just didn't feel as comfortable as I did in the other house. And so I was just like, you know what, Julia, like, you're gonna go through this, and maybe this is truly where you're meant to end up. And another thing about the house that I did pref first, it was actually one of the houses that I was a legacy for. My grandmother was in that chapter at a different school, but she was in that sorority. So I was like, you know what, maybe this is a sign that I'm supposed to be in this chapter, and I'm gonna go for it. So I prefed them first, and it's the next day, bid day, and I get that house. And my bid day buddy was the same girl that I absolutely fell in love with during preference round, and I had a really, really great time hanging out with her and her roommate. They're both literally such amazing people. They're so involved on campus. Like, I think very, very highly of them. They are seriously such great girls and such leaders in the UT community. And then I started going to more of the chapter meetings and events that they were hosting. I was not feeling like that sorority was my home, and I cannot explain it to somebody who hasn't been through it. It's just one of those things where you kind of have to experience it to fully understand. But I just didn't feel at home there, and truly it was nothing the chapter did wrong necessarily. I just did not feel like I was making the absolute most out of my sorority experience like I knew I could. I just felt like I was not reaching my full potential, and I felt like it was very unfair for me to have that mentality. I felt like I was not flourishing, and I felt like that was unfair for myself and the chapter. After lots and lots of heartfelt conversations, lots of prayers, and just lots of thinking to myself, I decided to drop my sorority. And it was a really, really, really hard decision, and I don't wish it for anyone. I really don't, because it is really hard, because I felt like not only did I let myself down, but I let my family down, and I let the sorority down, and it was really hard to deal with. There was, you know, a good couple weeks where I just was like, I don't know if I made the right choice. I just feel kind of lost, and I don't know what I'm doing anymore with my life, because there's these other girls in my hall and in my classes that are in sororities, and I'm not anymore. It was just a very kind of awkward, uncomfortable stage of my college experience. And although it was uncomfortable for like a couple weeks, I am truly so grateful that I did have that experience, because I truly learned that I do not need to be in a sorority to make friends. I do not need to be in a sorority to be a good person. I don't need to be in a sorority to be involved on campus. There's so many amazing things that you can be involved in on UT's campus other than Greek life. It's okay if Greek life is not for you. And I want to emphasize that so much. It's okay if Greek life is not for you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. It's completely fine, because I have friends that are not Greek and they have a great experience at UT. And I am so glad that I did drop my sorority, because it really allowed me to learn more about myself and gain the self-confidence that I had been lacking. And I really, really did find myself, and I really put myself out there as a freshman. And let me tell you, it's not easy, but it is completely doable, and I am very grateful for that experience. And you know, I really did not know if I wanted to go back through recruitment for a very, very, very long time. I was not anti-Greek at all, but I just was like, you know, it didn't work out for me the first time. Like, I don't know if it's gonna work out for me again kind of situation. I was just really doubting myself. But I remember just having a lot of heartfelt conversations with my parents and just, you know, realizing I do want to give this a second shot because I really do want to be in a sorority. And this time I'm going in with a complete different mindset, very, very positive mindset. I realized and knew that if sorority recruitment did not work out for me again, it's okay. I gave it my all. I had a very positive outlook, and I've already survived college without being in a sorority. Now, because of COVID, obviously the recruitment experience was completely different from when I went through as a freshman. It was completely virtual. It is just a completely different experience. I just literally cannot even explain to you guys how different it was. Just the recruitment process itself. And I just remember being very, very nervous because I was just like, are they not gonna get a good idea of who I am as a person because it's virtual? Really, when I went through the process as a sophomore, all of the doubts I had completely vanished. Like I said, I went into my recruitment process going into my sophomore year with a completely different mindset. My recruitment experience was incredible, impeccable. I had the best recruitment experience. I truly got back every house I wanted, and it was just the most fulfilling feeling I have ever felt. And I was just truly so grateful for the opportunity to even rush as a sophomore, and then just to have this overwhelming sense of just joy and happiness and gratefulness. It was an experience I will never, ever forget. I was so anxious and so nervous the entire time until preference, and I was not anxious. I was just really, really excited, but I was very, very nervous just because I was constantly thinking in my head, oh my gosh, like, am I gonna get dropped? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it never happened. I literally had the best experience ever. And every single girl I talked to when I said I was a sophomore was just so encouraging, like so friendly and kind to me, because I was so nervous that people were going to judge me because I was a sophomore. Every single girl I talked to during recruitment was just so supportive and kind to me, and it was just a really, really positive experience all around it. Every single chapter I went to, it was just incredibly positive. It just made me feel amazing. Luckily for me, I ran home to my favorite sorority of the entire recruitment process, Alpha Delta Pi, and I truly could not be any happier. It was just so much fun to kind of see girls that I knew and some of my friends. They were on the other side recruiting, and so that was a really, really fun and cool process just to be a part of. And so what I hope you guys have gathered from my recruitment experience is that things happen unexpectedly, and so it's just so important to not go into the sorority recruitment experience with incredibly high expectations. Obviously, you should have good expectations for yourself because you are important and this is your experience, and your opinions and your thoughts about your sorority recruitment experience matter. However, do not set the bar overly high where it's almost unattainable. Additionally, I just hope you guys know that it didn't work out for me the first time like I was really hoping it would, and that's okay. It's literally perfectly fine. Sometimes in life, you get into something and you realize that it's not for you and it's not going to work out, and that's okay. At the end of the day, like I said earlier, it's your recruitment experience, so you just need to do what you need to do for yourself. Don't feel guilty about making choices for yourself. And lastly, like, I just really hope that PNMs just know that recruitment, it's going to be stressful, you're going to be anxious, and that's completely normal, but you should have fun. If a sorority drops you, no big deal. Seriously, no biggie. It has probably nothing to do with anything you did. Things happen and you don't understand why. And that's what happened to me. I had no idea why I got dropped, but it's okay. Things happen for a reason, and you just have to be confident in yourself and have fun. This is literally supposed to be fun. This is not supposed to be uber stressful. So I hope you guys enjoyed kind of learning a little bit more about my recruitment experience, because I feel like now that you guys know what my experience was like, you guys have a better understanding of where I'm coming from when I make more sorority videos in the future. I want to do a whole series about sorority recruitment, and luckily for us, we are able to talk to PNMs. I was really nervous that they're going to do the no contact rule again. We can be in contact with PNMs, which is just amazing, because I'm going to be able to answer y'all's questions and comments and anything of that nature. I am here to help you guys, so if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below or DM me on Instagram, and I'd be more than happy to help you guys out with that. I am seriously so excited to continue this series. Once again, like I said, I don't know if it's going to be more of a June thing or if it's going to be more of a July thing. We're going to figure that out, but I just really appreciate you guys watching my video, and I am so excited to make more videos like this. So if you want to watch more, stay tuned and subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye!